In a previous video, I shared the best and worst times to trade in FIFA 22 Ultimate Team, and in today's video, we're sharing how we can use those best and worst times to benefit ourselves within a trader method. But before we do get into the video, if you're looking to get some very easy coins, then there is no better place than Mule Factory. Head over there to get yourself some cheap, fast FIFA 22 coins, completely reliable, and if you use Fnatic5 at checkout, you'll also get yourself a 5% discount. Link can be found in the description down below. Getting back into the video. So the backstory to this is just a few weeks ago on stream, I was trading. It was basic trading and I was going through the bulk bidding method. Nothing too special. And we were just looking at cheap 82 and 83 rated gold players where we can buy them for around 700 to 800 coins, because that's the minimum for an 82 being 700 coins and the minimum for an 83 is 800 coins. And I was looking to sell them for a couple hundred coins more than their minimum bid amount. And I did this for hundreds of players. At the end of every single game, I would spend time to bid on 50, get a max watch list, and then play another game for me to finish that game and do the exact same thing again as I list those players on the transfer market or use my unassigned. Whilst doing this for loads of players, I was able to get them a lot quicker than what I was able to sell them for, and after the stream ended, I still had quite a lot of players in my unassigned. It wasn't until later that day when I logged back into FIFA when I realized that the players that I was trading managed to increase in price by a considerable amount. They were no longer just giving me a couple hundred coins profit per card. I was now able to double my coins, make 700 coins, 800 coins, sometimes push even higher to make 1,000 all the way up to around 2,000 coins profit. And I put this down to being in the right place at the right time. But the following day, because we do stream on Saturday and Sunday, the exact same thing happened again, and it happened again by accident. And with it happening 2 days in a row, this is when I decided to actually spend some time and look at the different types of times in which these players that I was trading with tend to be their lowest and what they increase to. You can do all of this by using a site such as Footbin, which logs different player prices at different times of the day. You can go all the way back to the beginning of FIFA 22 when it was first released and find out how much a player was valued. But not just that, you can also see a day-by-day basis of what it has been hour by hour within those days. It really can get in depth, and for quite a lot of players, you will notice that they tend to have a much lower price in the early hours of the morning where you're able to buy them, and if you just hold them for 6, maybe even 12 hours, you can then sell them a lot later on at a much higher price. And that was exactly what was happening. So now that story is out the way, let me actually run through what I was doing with the specific player. The player that I was looking at was Rui Patricio, a goalkeeper, which I don't think anyone has used within FIFA 22 Ultimate Team for their actual team. He always seems to be at that lower end, and if you was to bulk bid with him, you can make a bit of coins, but not a crazy amount. You can very easily get him at 700 coins with next to no competition, and during these times, you're probably able to sell him for 800 coins, maybe 850 coins at a stretch, but you will have to relist him a few times. This does mean if you was to get him at 700 coins and sell them at 800 coins, you're making 60 coins profit per card. That does mean that you're going to need to have 1,667 trades with a 60 coin profit for you to make 100,000 coins. Now, when I ask, is that worth it? I'm pretty sure I know the answer. Bit of a pain, but at the end of the day, it is still profit. Profit is still profit, and you're still able to make coins out of him. So by all means, feel free to go and use him as a player for bulk bidding. But what's really special about him is that he does seem to have a much lower price early in the morning, which is when I was trading on stream, to what he does have in the late afternoon, being anywhere between 4 p.m. all the way up to around 6, maybe even 7 p.m. UK time. Now, the reason for this, I wish I knew. I think I'm going to pull it down to SBCs, there even being a few leaks with players getting hyped, quickly buying 82 and 83 rated players just before a new SBC releases, just so they have the players in their club, because after this time, he starts to drop off a bit and gradually goes all the way back down to his minimum of 700 coins, where the following day, early hours in the morning, you're able to get him at that price again with no competition. And with all of this, you don't need to take my word for it, because as said, FootBin does list all the player prices on the last couple of days, which you can see hour by hour, or you can even go to the daily graph, which you can also see. And you'll notice that there's a lot of days. In fact, there's 3 days in a row at the time in which I'm recording this video where I was able to find him at 750 coins at the minimum, which is the lowest buy now. You could still get him on a bid, which is at 700 coins, but 750 coins is listed at the lowest buy now. And then all of a sudden, by the afternoon, it shoots up to 1,000 coins. For the day before, he was at a very similar price, 750 coins listed, and then all of a sudden on Xbox shot up to 1,400 coins. And then on Thursday, he did the exact same thing, was listed at 750 coins in the morning, shot all the way up to 1,000 coins, lasted a couple hours, and then started to go back down again. And he is not the only player. You can also see this with a player such as Sirigu, another goalkeeper, 82 rated, has a fairly low price in the morning, but all of a sudden shoots up. And there's occasions where I've been trading with Sirigu at 700 coins as a bulk bidding method, and then sold him on for around 3,000 to 4,000 coins, which gives me a very nice amount of profit. I think I actually got very lucky with that type of trade, but it's still the same thing. He still increases a lot more in the afternoon. And this is where you could use it to your advantage. You don't need to use the bulk bidding method for you to instantly list on the transfer market to make 60 coins profit. You could do what I did, which was buy Rui Patricio for 700 coins and get hundreds of them and just use the unassigned. Keep sending every single one to your unassigned and keep on building up until you get to anywhere between 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. where you can then list them on the transfer market. And hopefully a very similar thing has happened where he does increase to 1,000 coins, and now you're able to make 300 coins profit per card, or hopefully it goes even better where you can more than double your coins, triple your coins, or 5x, or potentially even more. And as long as you are buying at the right time, there is no risk. If you are buying a player like this in the afternoon, it does mean by the time you get to the following morning, you've bought him at a high point and sold him at a low point. There's no point getting him at 6 p.m. for 1,000 coins and then just a couple hours later listed him at 800 coins, which is the lowest buy now. You need to make sure that you're doing this at the right time. And a good thing is that it isn't just for Rui Patricio. There is loads of rare gold players that follow this type of pattern. And even if you were to miss the high points of where you're able to sell a player like this, it's not too much of a problem, because at some point again, that high point will roll back around and you have got the player at their minimum price. So let's just say there isn't ever a point again where they do increase to 1,400, 2,000 coins plus. You're able to just go and sell them at 800 coins. And even though it's not the desirable profit, you're still able to make profit at the end of the day. You're not making a loss. Now, 3 players that I have been doing with this recently is Rui Patricio, Sirigu, and also Pulisic. Both of these players have increased quite a bit more in price, making them riskier trades. That's why you're able to see a lot more gameplay around Patricio, because he was a risk-free trading method. He was a risk-free player because I was able to get him at his minimum price. This doesn't just stick with rare gold players though. You can take it to icons. Icons have a very similar thing, except it's the complete opposite. Typically, you're able to get these types of players at their lowest price at around 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. rather than being their highest price, but their highest price will then be the early hours of the morning as less people are playing. Icons by themselves tend to be extremely rare players on the market. If you were to search any type of player's name, you're probably only going to see a couple pages. You can try to get them on a bid a lot lower compared to the lowest buy now, where you're still able to make profit if you was to relist them at that point, but it does mean that you are only going to make that as your profit. Whereas if you held it a bit longer and then listed slightly higher than the buy now that you was initially going to list it at, but list it for 12 hours overnight, there's a very good chance that by the time you wake up the following morning to log on to FIFA, that icon has sold. And it purely comes down to there not being as many icons listed within that period compared to what there will be during peak times when there is the most players playing. Now, this video as a trading method is laid out slightly different to what we've done for previous trading methods. I will show you exactly what to search for within the transfer market, but really it's not so much about Ultimate Team by itself. It's more actually just looking at different types of players on FootBin. And I can't tell you to do exactly what I did with Rui Patricio, because as soon as everyone knows about it, it also becomes completely pointless because everyone knows about it. Now it becomes a point of where there's loads of players looking to buy Rui Patricio early morning, and then they try to list them at the point in which he's at his highest, which just makes the price crash a lot faster than what it currently is. And it also makes it slightly harder to buy Rui Patricio within those early hours of the morning. This is why I have given some examples of what you can do with slightly more expensive players, being icons, but there also being other types of cards that you can do this with, which are above 100,000 coins. Plus, on top of that, I've also shown what I was looking out for when I went to go for Rui Patricio, Sirigu, and Pulisic, but they're not the only ones. I recommend selecting a number of different rare gold players, all at different ratings, and just seeing what their price changes to and fluctuates throughout the day. It is a very tedious job, but Futbin does make it easy because it does show the past couple of days, plus you can see what it is on a day-by-day basis. And if you do start to see a pattern where a specific player has had an increase in price at a certain day, 3 days in a row, well, it's not guaranteed to happen for the 4th day, but you could put your money there and definitely give it a try. I think you'll be surprised at the amount of players that this works with, and you'll also be surprised that not many people are doubling down on this. I put around 500 Rui Patricios into my club just to go through this method, and it's all working out extremely well. And even if it didn't, it's fine because I could still go and list them at 800 coins where I'm still able to make profit. But anyway guys, this is a slightly different type of trading method. You're still buying and selling players, but what type of players you buy into and how you invest them to flip just a few hours later is entirely up to you. You need to find out for yourself, because the second that I tell you what type of players to look for is also the second in which that player will probably no longer work. The players that have been included within this video, I'll be surprised if they work anymore, but the good thing is that there are a lot out there, and I just made sure that I do not mention those players for this video so that you can find them for yourself. If you do have any questions about anything, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going.